For years, every night at precisely 8:47 p.m., Leo would walk past her window, and every night, a single candle flickered on the sill, its gentle flame a silent sentinel in the dark. It wasn't a grand gesture, not a spotlight or a neon sign. It was just a simple, wax candle in a small glass holder. Yet for Leo, it was the brightest light in his world. It had become his ritual, the anchor to his otherwise drifting days. He didn't know her name. He didn't know the color of her eyes or the sound of her voice. He only knew the candle, and for him, that was enough. The first time he saw it was on a Tuesday, 3 years, 4 months, and 16 days ago. He remembered because it was the day he'd lost his job. The city felt cold and indifferent, a concrete maze of strangers. He was walking home, his head done, the weight of failure pressing on his shoulders. He took a different route that night, a detour down a quiet, tree-lined street he'd never noticed before, and that's when he saw it. A tiny, defiant flame in a ground-floor window, dancing against the dark pane. It was so small, so simple, but in that moment, it felt like a message, a quiet flicker of hope in a world that had gone dim. He stopped, just for a second, and watched it burn. It felt like it was burning just for him. From that day on, his new route was set. He'd leave his tiny apartment, wander the city, and time his return to pass her window at exactly 8:47 p.m. It became a game, a secret pact between him and the unknown woman. He'd wonder about her. Was she an artist, painting by candlelight? A writer, penning novels in the soft glow? Or maybe, just maybe, she was lonely too, and the candle was her way of reaching out into the night. He built entire worlds for her in his mind. One day she was a concert violinist, her music filling the room. The next, a baker, the scent of fresh bread mingling with the warm wax. These stories were his companions on his lonely walks. He never tried to see her. The curtain was always drawn just enough to obscure the room, leaving only the candle in view. He felt it would be a betrayal of their silent agreement to peer inside, to break the spell. The mystery was part of the magic. The candle was their language, a conversation held across a pane of glass and a stretch of pavement. It said, "I'm here." And his nightly walk replied, "I see you." Sometimes he would find himself smiling as he approached the street. His steps would lighten. The perpetual knot in his stomach would loosen. The candle was his constant, the one predictable, beautiful thing in a life that felt anything but. 1 year into his nightly pilgrimage, he got a new job. It was a good job, one that he actually enjoyed. His life started to have structure again. He made friends, he went out, he laughed. But no matter how late he stayed out, or how tired he was, he always made sure to walk past her window. It was non-negotiable. It was his tradition. It was his thank you to the light that had guided him through his darkest time. He felt he owed his new life, in some small way, to that unwavering flame. It had reminded him that even in overwhelming darkness, a single point of light can make all the difference. It taught him to look for the small wonders, the quiet signals of hope. He started leaving little things, nothing that would give him away. Once, he left a perfect crimson maple leaf on the sidewalk beneath her window in the autumn. In the spring, a single wild daisy. He'd place them carefully, his heart thumping in his chest, then walk away quickly, a giddy feeling bubbling up inside him. He never knew if she saw them, but he liked to imagine she did. He pictured her, finding the leaf, a small smile grazing her lips as she wondered where it came from. The thought was enough to carry him through the next day. It was his way of adding his own small voice to their silent conversation. Then, one night, it happened. He turned the corner, his gaze already fixed on the familiar spot, but the window was dark. A cold dread, sharp and sudden, seized him. He stopped dead in the middle of the sidewalk. The window was a black, empty square. There was no flicker, no warm glow, just his own pale reflection staring back at him. He waited. 8:47 p.m. came and went. 8:50. 9 o'clock. Nothing. The street felt impossibly empty. The silence deafening. Had she moved? Was she sick? 1,000 frantic thoughts raced through his mind. He had never realized how much he depended on that light until it was gone. For a week, the window remained dark. Every night, Leo walked the same path, a hollow ache in his chest. The walk felt pointless now, a habit without a heart. The city was just a city again, cold and anonymous. The magic was gone. He felt foolish. He had built a fantasy around a complete stranger in a candle. He had poured all his hopes and dreams into a flickering flame. He berated himself for his sentimentality, for his loneliness. But the ache wouldn't go away. He missed the candle. He missed the feeling it gave him. He missed the woman he had never met. On the 8th night, he almost didn't go. What was the point? But something, some stubborn lingering hope, pulled his feet in the familiar direction. As he turned the corner, his heart hammering against his ribs, he braced for the familiar disappointment, but it wasn't dark. The window wasn't dark. Instead of the candle, a small battery-operated lamp sat on the sill, casting a soft, steady glow, and taped to the inside of the window was a piece of paper. His breath caught in his throat. He stepped closer, his heart pounding so loud he was sure the whole street could hear it. On the paper in neat, handwritten letters were just a few words. The candle burned out. I hope this will do. I miss our walks. He read the words once, then twice, then a third time. A slow, wide grin spread across his face, a warmth flooding through him that had nothing to do with the lamp. She knew. She had seen him. All this time, she knew. She had been watching him, just as he had been watching her. Their silent conversation hadn't been one-sided after all. It was real. The leaf, the daisy she, must have known they were from him. He looked at the lamp, its light so different from the candle's organic flicker, yet just as beautiful. It was a new message, a new chapter. He stood there for a long time, just looking at the note, at the light. He felt a sense of courage he hadn't felt in years. The mystery was over, but something even better was beginning. He pulled a pen from his pocket and a crumpled receipt from his wallet. On the back, he wrote his own message. It's perfect. How about a walk together sometime? My name is Leo. He carefully folded the note and tucked it under the lamp on the outside ledge of the window. As he walked away, he didn't look back. He didn't need to. He knew, with a certainty that settled deep in his bones, that a new light had just been lit in his life. The candle in the window had been a beacon, guiding him through the darkness. But now, it felt like he was finally walking toward the sunrise. He couldn't wait for tomorrow. He couldn't wait to see if she'd answer. And for the first time in a very long time, Leo felt like he was truly home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next one. See you soon.